Pure Dog says usually watch on YouTube, but here today for the drops. I appreciate you watching wherever you want, but obviously make sure you get your drops today, guys. Sully Shania says once this game really opens up and you realize how much there is to do, it's mind-blowing. Yeah, that's the question I was answering earlier. Like, someone was asking, like, in terms of the narrative, I think Chaos Meister was asking, like, is there a story? Yes, there is. About 100 hours-ish of just story. But beyond that, there are hundreds of hours of things to do because there's all the base building. And now that they've expanded things with Worlds Part 1 and Worlds Part 2, we can do underwater base building now and the submarines and everything else. And now with Voyagers dropping, we've now added ship building, multiplayer ship contracts. It's a whole, like, it's now added a third new level of things to do that go way beyond all the stuff that's been added over the past years, you know. So yeah, this is a game that is, I would look at this and say this is like any live service game you've ever played before. If you ever played a live service game, you'll be familiar with it. So like Lord of the Rings Online, Star Wars: The Old Republic, World of Warcraft. We're playing a lot of Dune Awakening recently. We're playing a lot of Enshrouded as well. All of these games offer the opportunity to play by yourself or with friends in a place where you could literally live in the world and spend hundreds of hours, if not thousands of hours, doing lots of cool shit. So it's kind of like this situation where you just have to figure out what worlds you want to like spend your free time in. Like, I love Dune, so I'm having a lot of fun in Dune Awakening. I also love Enshrouded. We've been getting back into Enshrouded recently. I like this game. I'm playing Lord of the Rings Online on Sunday nights with my brother and sister-in-law and their kids. I still have great... I don't play a lot of Star Wars: The Old Republic these days, but I'll dip in from time to time. But these games are meant to be played for hundreds of hours. You have to like the gameplay loop, though, to get that kind of enjoyment out of it. Because some games, like New World as an example, New World Eternum, I got my 100 hours out of it and I moved on. I had a great time with the storyline, but once I did the storyline, I was like, I don't really feel like I want to spend that kind of time in this world. Whereas I really enjoy the aesthetic of this game and the soundtrack. It's super chill, like once you get later into the game and like you can explore space and you can start doing star system to star system, and then you get into, like, you know, you get your frigate, which, by the way, the frigate is cool, but now that we're going to be able to build ships with this update, I don't know how that's going to work with the frigate, because it's like that's changing the way people play the game with the way you can build your own ship now, because now you don't need a frigate. But I mean, frigates do their own thing, so it's kind of like you kind of do still want your frigate, right? Because frigates offer the fleet, and the fleet is its own thing with like missions and all that other stuff. So it's like, that's, yeah, like Burlek, exactly. I've played this game so differently at different times in the past decade, excuse me. Yeah, because there's so many things to do. You can literally log on and be like, this week I'm going to focus on building a base. This week I'm going to go do fleet missions. This week I'm going to go do deep water exploration. This week I'm going to do fishing. This week I'm going to do cooking. This week I'm going to build a new ship. This week I'm going to go find a living ship. This week I'm going to go get that solar ship I've been after. This week I'm going to blah. You know, it's, I think what I really love about No Man's Sky is what, right, the fleet is what leads to things like the quest for the living ships. Yeah, exactly. So like Shania was saying, like, the thing I really love about this game is the freedom to do lots of different things. I think that's a very interesting aspect of this game. It's just having so many things to do. Many live service games do it that way, but I feel like some games are a little more limited in the way you can do things, if that makes sense. Like, as an example, I love World of Warcraft, but World of Warcraft is very, very, like, you're always going to be running quests on the ground. Maybe you're on your flying mount, but it's a very specific type of, like, that's what you're doing. Now, they are adding housing with Midnight, which is very interesting. That's going to allow another layer of things to be done. But for 20 years, World of Warcraft has been about, a specific type of questing, a specific type of raiding. But they did it like the pet battles at one point. Some people love the pet battles. There's mount collection. This game kind of does that similar thing where you've got ship collections, you got all your collections for base building. But the other thing that I think a lot of people forget about this game, and it's not mentioned, is the ability to like go into you could do creative mode. So like if you don't even, that's the other thing, is like maybe you're like my niece and you don't want to deal with combat or survival elements, you just want to play around and go fishing and build shit. Like you can turn on the creative mode and have your own building session without any of the pressures of the other parts of the gameplay.